Welcome to Happy Homes and Gardens. I'm your host. My name is Daphne Royse. I am a real estate broker, architecture, and interior designer. Punch King runs a training facility for boxing and kickboxing and is the first gym that offers innovative punching bags for position training. Let's welcome King Lei, who is the founder of Punch King, to tell us more about his punching bag innovation.
Thanks, Daphne. Thanks for the introduction. Glad to be on your show. Thank you for having me. So Punch King is actually comprised of two different companies, but there's one parent company. So there's Punch King, which is Punch King World, which is the products company, which is what you saw, the bags and a lot of other innovative products that I designed myself. I have patents. I have about 5 or 6 patents on different training products, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The second part is Punch King Fitness, which kind of came out of the products, which is Punch King Fitness Gyms, which is now a legal franchise. So we're going to be franchising our Punch King Fitness gym model across the United States, and hopefully we will probably be overseas also. Our first one will be in Ho Chi Minh City in Saigon, Vietnam. So we have some partners over there that we're going to be doing it, but basically the whole story started of Punch King started when I set off to, after a training session with I was taking my daughter to learn how to do Muay Thai boxing, and I was kind of hitting the punching bag again, and I was looking at it and I thought, I don't really see any difference in a punching bag. Punching bag's been around for about centuries now, and it's been the same, and nothing wrong with it. It still works. It still works the same. The premise of the punching bag will never change. And I thought, hey, what if you can add some targeting points to these bags? I like to actually have some kind of targets, like a regular cylindrical bag. You can't uppercut a bag. It's kind of hard because there's no point for your fist to hit the bag or make impact with, right? So I just decided to give a bag a head, a stomach, and kind of the side pieces for the head where you can actually do a proper hook or a uppercut, and also in the midsection you can do a kind of like a Muay Thai knee kick. So in my head I saw it, and it was kind of a funny story. I went home right away with this idea in my head, and I put a bunch of brown paper on the kitchen wall, and my wife was looking at me saying, "What the hell are you doing?" And then I started drawing out the bag. I'm here punching the wall, trying to figure out the curves and everything. And one thing led to another. That was the first phase of developing my idea in the bag. But little did I know that the feat of creating it was not going to be easy. Getting the right design, understanding how to get the designer to do the renderings and the CAD drawings that need to be done, so you could actually send it to a manufacturer that understands this language that can actually try to produce the bag for you. And I thought, oh, okay, no, a bunch of material, you just stitch it together, sew it, easy. It was far from that. I probably the door got closed on me about 20 times from different manufacturers saying, "You're crazy, you can't make this." Until I got one small mom and pop shop overseas that took on the task. And the first version was not great. Second version, maybe a little bit better. We're probably on the 5th rendition of the bag, which I'm finally happy with. Very strong. The stitching is really good. The straps are really good. The look and feel of the leather is finally where I want it to be. So again, it took a while. We started about 5 years ago. So you take about a year and a half in design, trying to find manufacturers. Then you go into manufacturing, another year. Then what happens? COVID. Couple years there. Then not even coming out of COVID, the big challenge was shipping. So basically, I think we're on year 5 now, but I feel like we're a startup because of all these roadblocks that we've had. But the good thing is it gave me time. It allowed me time to be able to create new products, to make my current products better, stronger, right? So I didn't have to be rushing, putting it out in a lot of people, the bags don't work good, or this and that. So it was wasn't a good time in our history, but it was a good time for us to be able to again slow down and take a slower pace and develop better products at the same time. So that's kind of the story of how the bag came about.
Well, I know there are two shapes of traditional punching bags. One is a long and round, and the other one is a teardrop shape. Tell us a little bit about those old-fashioned punching bags and versus yours.
Yeah. So again, the biggest point is I didn't want to go too far. A lot of people, oh, can you add some arms to it? Can you do this? Everybody has an idea. After they see something, everyone's a expert. They want to tell you how to do things. I really wanted to keep my bag the same shape, round, but with targeting points. So again, the bags that have been around for centuries are round. They used to be, filled with rocks back in the days, really hard. There's teardrop ones too. So everyone did. I'm not saying that there hasn't been different variations of the bag. There have been, but not as drastic as how I made my bag. Teardrops, what people are doing is trying to create different angles for you to be able to hit properly and to hit correctly with your punches. So teardrops kind of give you angles, kind of like a big belly, a smaller top, right? So now you can actually do like a proper uppercuts, a proper hooks, instead of doing it all round like on a regular bag, right? So again, teardrops were another rendition of the bag. And there's a few other ones too, but again, not as impactful as what I've done with my bag, because again, my bags have true targeting points on them.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do?
Wow. From my dad growing up, my dad has always been an entrepreneur. He's worked, he's had a job, and he's always had side businesses, locksmith, secondhand store. He did car repair, and he was actually his main job was he was a head bartender at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco at the Crown Room a long time ago. So that was kind of like the bread and butter. I used to go everywhere with him, so I think it was instilled in me since I was young, and I picked up doing small contracting stuff myself, and I was a appliance installer from high school for about 10 years. So I used to deliver and install washing machines, dryers, and everything. So again, I've always been really hands-on with my hands. I went to UC Davis. I didn't think I was going to go to school. I'm the youngest of five boys in the family. None of my brothers went to school, or my mom or my dad. So I was the only one, and I kind of took that path and went to college and just kind of got the degree. I didn't get good grades. I just wanted the degree so my mom could be happy. She's at least one of her sons went to school. From there, I was in a lot of startups during that time. So that was when AOL, Yahoo, everyone was coming up, and I jumped onto a bunch of startups, Coupon Company, and I got into more of a network admin, IT stuff, right? And I dabbled in. I actually still do that to this day. My real job, Punch King, is not my real job right now, not yet. I'm hoping I can do it full time, but the one that pays the bills, the health benefits. I've been an integration engineer for a healthcare supply chain company for the last about 16 years now. It's been a remote position ever since I started, so it allowed me to do all these little side things. Hopefully, the company is not listening, but I was able to create other businesses at the same time. I actually was in food and beverage for about a good 13 years doing that. So I started my first company. One of my first companies, the biggest one, was called What's Up Dog, which is a hot dog franchise in San Francisco. Had about 13 locations and a few overseas. But what was it, '06, the housing crash, everything that went south, we were in a lot of malls at the time, and the business model could sustain itself because everybody got hurt. The economy is really bad, and we closed down a lot of locations, and eventually I closed down that business, right? So kind of that's my background to date, and now Punch King at the same time.
very talented with all different industries.
Yeah, I dabble. I guess I'm a master of none, right? Jack of all trades.
For your tech background, did you also design a digital monitor to measure and fit a person to the punching bag?
No, we have a partner. When I first started Punch King, there was another company called Impact Rap. They're kind of like everyone's the gym industry. Everyone's trying to come on board with the Peloton style type of fitness. Orange Theory. Everyone's doing heart rate monitors. Everyone's trying to track all of your analytics because data is king, right? Whatever data we can get from anybody, you know, I hate to say it, people like to sell data, people like to accumulate data, or we can help you, for data in the fitness industry is, measure your body, your weight, your health, everything, right? And help you at the same time become a better person overall in health and wellness, right? So no, I did not. But these companies, it's easier to partner with companies than to go ahead and start creating from scratch, your own thing. So Impact Rap they're one of the few that I've actually liked, and I'm really close with the CEO, the founder, because we kind of been in step. We helped each other's companies to date. So I was a beta for a lot of his products, and he tested out a lot of my products, and he gave me feedback. I gave him feedback. So now he's getting bigger. He's in a lot of gyms, and we promote ourselves with his technology too. And we try to be like, the new coin is smart gyms, right? We want to be a smart gym and be able to help. Instead of trying to do overtrain and trying to figure out, personal one-on-one training, we're trying to alleviate owners and businesses to be able to use the technology to help write programs instead of, daily coming up with new exercises where we already have pre-programmed 100 programs in our system. Turn it on, starts, the bell rings, and you start warm-ups to calisthenics, to circuit training, weight training, then you start hitting the bags. And our bags are all timed 1-minute rounds and different kind of punches. So that's the kind of the way that we're looking at Punch King Fitness to be innovative and different than a lot of the other fitness franchises out there on the market now.
What are the fitness benefit of boxing or kickboxing?
So I've done a lot. I've done weight training, so I'm 50 now. I'll be 51 this year. So I've been doing Muay Thai for quite some time. I've done weight training. I've run, but recently, ever since I created the bag and I started getting the more boxing, kickboxing, and mixing it with hip fitness, which is high intensity interval training, which means that you box, then you switch to a calisthenics, like high intensity, you do burpees, then you get back on the bag, then you go back down and do burpees, mountain climbers, then back on the bag, keeping your heart rate at an elevated level to where you start burning more fat and more calories faster. I think right now, by far, it's probably one of the best workouts out there. You can get more in like a 15 to 20-minute session doing a hip fitness boxing kickboxing program than you could running an hour or 2 hours around the lake, around anywhere around your house that you can run. I don't think anything compares to it right now.
It sounds like boxing and it's a full body workout. Do you recommend other workouts to pair with the boxing?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, just do boxing all the time, go run, even though running doesn't, everything is different. You feel like, sometimes, I have so many people that come in and they take our demo, and their first question is, what's your fitness level? What are you doing today? Some people come in, I do nothing. I haven't done anything. Okay, well, we already know they're going to take a little bit more time. And when we do our demos with those people, I think they last about 10 minutes and they're on the ground huffing and puffing. It's really tiring. We've had some people say, oh, I run an hour. I do rowing. I go to the gym for an hour and a half, and I give them 15 minutes and they're huffing and puffing too. But every single exercise or training regimen out there is different. If I go out there and I start weight training again, I'll be sore the next day, of course, because you haven't used those muscles. When I go snowboarding, my feet are aching after a day in the snow because I don't use those muscles. You don't use your tibialis or your calves as much because you're on them and you're really riding them, right? So, I wouldn't say there's no one perfect workout. It's what people like, right? It's most of the people that come in our gym, oh, I've done this, and and then they come in and a little skepticism, they come and try a program and they love it. I mean, our right now in our small location in Sunset District in San Francisco, I think our retention rate right now is about 99%. Ever since we opened for a year, we probably had one person leave because she moved to LA. Everybody else maybe might pause their membership once in a while because vacations and kids stuff and anything like that. But everybody in our classes love what we're doing with our programs. They a lot of them have been to other different gyms, but they found us. We're a neighborhood gym, which is kind of which I like. We like to be in our neighborhoods. We're opening our second one right now in San Francisco Richmond district, another neighborhood area. Because I feel that the gyms are lacking in those areas. I mean, you'll have to go probably down to downtown, Stonestown to City Sports, if you want to get a good gym or a good program. But again, those gyms, they have class-based programs, but they have 30 to 40 members in there. You pay $15-20, and you pay for what you get. Let's just put it that way. You're not going to really increase your level that fast because those classes are meant to accommodate a whole class of people, of 30 people, right? You're not going to get a personal one-on-one training, which I think we're a hybrid. We do personal training with a touch of class-based, which is 8 to 10, maybe 12 people max, right? So it's a really, really good.
You mentioned earlier that people last 15 minutes. I was laughing on that. What kind of program does Punch King offers to beginners or intermediate level?
Yeah, definitely.
The lower
So,
level.
right now, if you're a beginner, we kind of throw you into more of we don't really have a beginner, intermediate, advanced level classes. Everybody's kind of lumped into the same class. And we kind of say, hey, you go at your own pace. There might be one person that's been with us for a year that knows everything, and one person that just signed up for a week. But we make sure that we understand who our audience is when we're teaching classes. To break up classes in a structure of, okay, let today at 9 o'clock we always have beginners, and then we have 10 o'clock is always intermediate. The classes get kind of it's not as fun if you don't have more advanced people, because you want to be better all the time, and to watch other people. Some people might get intimidated because, oh, those guys are so much better than me and everything. But some people are like, oh, I like the pace. I like, because for me, I like to work out with somebody better than me, because they push me at the same time. So that's kind of the model that we have at this. So again, if you're a beginner, we do take you slower. We say, okay, don't join these classes yet. Join these until you're ready. Then we start putting you into more of the. Again, we don't coin them a intermediate or advanced or anything, and it's working so far. Everybody's, they know what they do. If they can't do the strenuous calisthenics like a burpee that you jump over a box, you just stay in place, do a light burpee. You don't have to do the push-up. So again, we're smaller, and we're able to give that personal attention to every person in the class because we know who's there, right? Oh, Daphne, you know what? Here, push-ups, but do your knee push-ups. Go on your knees and do knee push-ups instead of full push-ups for now. But we push you because we say, hey, can you just try to do two full push-ups with your knees raised, and then go back down to your knees? Because a lot of these students and members, they feel like, oh, I can't. It's always I can't. Well, you kind of have to push yourself a little bit, because if you don't try, you're never gonna know. Now, I don't know if you saw a video I just put out of a member spotlight of our over 60 ladies that we have. We have 3 of them that come 4 times a week. They've been with us since day one, and they come pretty diligently, and they're so strong. Over, one's 63, others about 60 years old, and they're up to about 45 minutes in our class. And again, they come all the time, and I love them. They're such great ladies, and it's such a fun class with them all the time. I'm always trying to keep up with giving them new exercises, to do, because we try to keep with our program. Otherwise, it kind of deviates, and we're in the personal training, But because they're kind of like my ladies, I do extra for them at the same time, because in our gym, all my trainers, all our members, we all know each other. We make sure that they talk to other members, and it's a fun environment for them.
There's age limitation for someone who wants to learn boxing or kickboxing?
No, never. We've been trying to do an initiative for even older than that, 70, 80, for kind of rehabilitation, getting the arms moved. We have small, softer punching bags, right? You can actually hit you with your hand so it don't hurt, but it's all about the mind being able to do certain commands. So you don't get, you don't stop losing your memory, just keeping it active, keeping the arms. So we have that. We did dive into the kids program for a little bit, but as anyone's dealt with kids for childcare, it's pretty difficult, especially when you have kids that are a little bit more rowdier, they don't listen, or a lot of questions. There's definitely a lot of money in kids programs. That's why karate, kung fu studios, they do so well, because they offer a lot of the kids programs. They have the belt systems and everything, but we kind of concentrate more on the older teens to adults now, because again, we did do the kids programs, and you have to have a certain temperament to be able to train kids. And right now, me and my other trainers, we don't have that right now. We want to. We're gonna try to bring on some people that want to handle kids, and then we're gonna bring the program back, because right now, self-defense is really important for us. Just being AAPI month and everything. As an Asian, owner of a company, I don't think there's too many out there that, especially big companies, they're all, we're probably one of the only Asian ones out there that are actually doing manufacturing and gym fitness, right? So that's my community. I was born and raised in the Chinatown area, and so that's more what my heart is. And I wanted to help, these ladies, even like the ladies that come to our class. We emphasize a lot of like simple movements. We're not trying to tell you to learn how to fight and stand there and fight one-on-one with somebody. We want to give you some techniques of a knee to the groin, a throat chop, maybe a palm to the face, to the nose or something, just so you can get 1 or 2 seconds so you can get away. Don't be scared. The problem with a lot of people right now that get attacked is they cower and they hide, right? You have to be visually focused on that person so you know what's going to happen next, right? So we have our members do like thousands and thousands of knees to the groin, because what I want that instinct to come automatically. Like if someone's going to attack you, I want you to be able to knee them and get away. I don't knee them and try to fight to stay there. Knee them and run. Just allow yourself a little bit of time so you can get away. That's all. Same with kids. Again, I started this whole Punch King because I wanted to take my daughter, who was 5 years old at the time, because I didn't want these little boys at school bullying her, right? Picking on her, teasing her, So that's why I said, hey, let's go ahead and, teach you how to do Muay Thai. And now she does boxing with me all the time now, because we open our own gym. So we don't have to go anywhere anymore. So we do it there. And again, it's really important. I emphasize to the kids, like, hey, we only do this here. You only need this if you really, really feel threatened. We don't go around hitting people. And I think that's what all schools, all traditional martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, all trainers out there in the world, we all emphasize to the kids, like, hey, this is just for training, right? We're trying to make you a better person. And just so you have the capabilities to protect yourself, but don't go around beating up people, just because now you learned, that. So again, there's the two spectrums, the young kids all the way to the older adults. How do you do it? How do you mix them together? So we're still learning. Again, we're a new company, but again, hopefully we can make a little bit bigger impact, especially for me being, again, Asian and, being from the Chinatown area in San Francisco. I really want to help our people, protect themselves, because what's going on out there is just ridiculous, and it breaks my heart.
Yes. And just curiosity, if you do decided to train kids, would you design a smaller bag just for appropriate size for the kids?
No, the bottom of the bags, they're able to hit them just as well. They might not have to hit targeting. The freestanding bags are softer for them too, which they can still use. So we wouldn't really go ahead and create new bags. We would just because they're gonna grow anyways. So we kind of keep that in the tracking system that we have, the sensors and everything are more geared for the adults, even though the kids, I realize that, because it's a game to them, they want points. And sometimes, it's funny, but not funny. Sometimes the sensors, either one, we forget to turn it on, or two, because it gets a little bit buggy. Technology, nothing's ever perfect, right? So one kid's bag is working and one's not. And in my head, this is how I thought as an adult was, oh, don't worry, the workout's more important, right? But as talking to the mothers, when they leave, they say, oh, but they really like their points, and I have to kind of bring myself back down to that level of a kid. And when I used to play games, yeah, same thing. I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best. There would be, I think the perfect scenario is that there's two brothers that always fight, but they used to come to our class. One sensor was working not too well, and the other one was, and that brother, you used the one that wasn't working so well always won, and then the one that was working and he was beating his brother, he was kind of like throwing it in his face. Ah, I beat you. I got more points than you. And then the other brother was getting mad, and I'm like, oh my god, they're really serious about these points. So now I make sure that it's all working properly before we start a class or anything. But the game of, we call it the gamification of fitness now, right? You can have we can have 8 people. You don't have to fight each other. You just hit the bag for points. Whoever is on the top has the most points is the winner. So a lot of times they're looking up. We have screens all over our gym. They look up and like, oh my god, I'm only 1,000 points away from Daphne. Boom, my head lights up, and I'm gonna go hard, even though I'm tired. Last round, I'm gonna go harder because I want to get Daphne. And then Daphne, you're over there and you're sitting, oh my god, he's catching up. Then you get your second win, and you start fighting again. So really fun kind of atmosphere that we get into sometimes. Some people take it seriously. Some people just they understand. The sweat is telling me I'm working hard. I don't need a heart rate monitor. Although seeing your heart rate in real time on the screen gives you more incentive. So the technology piece of this gives you more incentive to work harder.
What kind of a proper outfit and gear needed to start boxing?
Well, the two main things, depending on what you're going to be doing, is hand wraps. So you need hand wraps to wrap your hands. It's in the beginning, it's a big pain because it's like you have to learn the style, how to wrap your hands. But if you don't wrap your hands and you hit bags, you're going to hurt your hands. So one, hand wraps first, then the proper gloves that fit correctly, punching gloves, and for anywhere from, depending on your size, from 8 ounce up to a 16 ounce. The other thing would be shin guards. A lot of these bags like ours can be pretty hard to kick in the beginning. You want to kind of condition your shins to be able to kick properly. But again, they're pretty hard. So shin guards are another proper gear, and maybe some ankle braces if you have weak ankles. But those are pretty much it. If you do a lot of running shoes, good running shoes at the same time. But main two things are wraps and gloves. Then you can do this. You can do boxing hit fitness anywhere, not just in our gym.
How can the punch bags can improve precision, timing, and accuracy?
Well, punching a bag is about, so there's so many different punches that you have to do, right? You have the jab, the cross, the uppercut, right uppercut, left body, overhand right body, low jab, high jab. So there's a lot. So, everything is about repetition. So, you want to be able to, it's not just throwing your hands and trying to punch. You need to move your shoulder. You need to move your hips, that all, instead of, trying to punch hard, if you use your body correctly, it's kind of like how Bruce Lee was the master of everything on this, the style of punching and using, the force, not just force, but, your body to be able to kick through or to punch through, right? Those are the more important factors to allow you to be a better puncher or a fighter. in my opinion. And when it comes down to equipment, for me, there's the punching bag, there's the uppercut bag, there's the speed bag. There's a lot of different training equipment, and my analogy of it is kind of like golf. So that you have golf and you have um punching. You have all your clubs in a golf bag, and they all do something different. Every single club hits the ball either farther or shorter, to give you more accuracy. The putter obviously is the putter in the green. And where I see punching bags are my punching bag, the heavy bag, is for power, timing, precision, right? And visually you have targets. So that one gives you that. You have freestanding bags that kind of help you a little bit more flow. You hit them lighter, but you can actually hit them faster, right? You have speed bags, the double end bags that go back and forth. That gives you, your speed to be able to hit it correctly, to get that rhythm. Everything is about rhythm in boxing. And one thing not to be understated is, besides hitting a bag, you have to have proper footwear, right? To be able to move around. Boxing to me is like dancing, just like how you do a cha-cha or anything. Boxing is the same thing. You have to move correctly. You have to flow correctly. You have to move your head to block punches, to move away from punches. There's a whole science behind boxing, kickboxing. I mean, it's not just, oh, let's just go out there and fight. Again, earlier I mentioned, if you're being attacked and how you cower, you close your eyes, that's the reaction of most people. And that's how you get hurt more. Whereas where we try to tell members, like, stay attentive, hold your hands up here all the time, make sure you're covered, but make sure you're looking at who's attacking you. If you close your eyes, then you can't see what's going to happen next, right? So you have to be aware of your surroundings, which makes it really important at the same time. So, I mean, it's a lot. You just have to kind of, you just have to start. That's the main thing I tell a lot of people. Why is it better for me? How is this better for me? Well, you just come out, you come try it, and see how you like it. Because again, there's people have said, "Oh yeah, I've done workouts before, but I just don't like it." But people try out workouts and, oh, I love this. Some people come in very timid, and later they started getting more used to working out. They have a lot more confidence in themselves, and that's the most important thing, to be timid, to be shy, than to be able to be confident and walk out the gym. Like, I'm not breeding fighters, right? That's those different gyms. Those are those real gyms that teach fighting and boxing, right? I'm just trying to teach you a little bit of self-defense, but the big thing is health and wellness. I wanted you to be able to feel better, not necessarily look better. We all want to try to look better too, but it's about health. When we get to a certain age, diabetes, cancer, all this stuff starts to set in, and you want to be able to prolong your life. For me, I had my daughter when I was a little bit older, and by the time she's graduating, or she wants to get married, I'm pretty old. I want to be able to walk her down the aisle. I want to be able to do things, and keeping up a good fitness regimen is really, really important, because our society is getting big. A lot of people are getting bigger, they're getting obese. Health is not good. But fitness right now, the industry, especially post-COVID, is booming. I mean, everybody was Peloton, home gym, everything. Peloton was, all their shares are going through the roof, but now home gym is plummeting. Everything's dying, and everyone's running back into the gyms wanting to work out again. And it's a good feeling. It's again, I don't think I can be more happier at this time. And I think Punch King is coming in at the right time to be able to get into this market.
Just a curiosity, do you require to have a flexibility for boxing, kickboxing? And also, is your workout be able to help people lose weight?
Definitely. Well, flexibility is one big thing. Even if you don't work out, I do recommend stretching. Being flexible is one of the most important things. And I sometimes slack myself. I tell myself I gotta stretch every day for 15, 20 minutes, right? But we get so busy in our lives that we can't do those little things, but we really try. But for kicking, definitely you want to be able to be flexible, because your hips have to turn over. You want to be able to kick higher than raising your leg up about halfway up your body. You want to be able to hit someone's face at the same time. Well, you're not going to be able to get up that high if you don't stretch, right? So flexibility is key, and not just for kicking. I mean, boxing, you need to loosen up your shoulders. At the same time, your neck has to be loose all the time as well, right? Your back needs to be stretched out. So stretching, being flexible is one of the big key things. Yoga is great for that, right? If you do a combination of both, that's really good at the same time. I'm a testament myself. I was at a point when I had my daughter, sympathy pounds, you gain a lot. So I was at about 210, then I went back down to about 180 pretty quickly. And I tried running, I tried doing a lot of stuff, and it was really hard. But when I got into the boxing, hit fitness, I lost it pretty quickly within like 4 or 5 months. And that was not even with a strict diet. I still ate. I just tried to cut my meals in half. I don't eat the big plates of fried rice or chow mein no more. Maybe I still love to eat. I mean, I kind of, my thing is I work out so I can eat. I know a lot of people still, they got to watch themselves, oil, what kind of stuff goes in the food. But, I feel like, we need to live a little bit, and, food is kind of essential to living. Right. So I don't try to be just all salads or anything like that. But, I do at times go on binges where I say, I want to eat a little healthier for the month, and then I go back and eat a little bit more. But weight loss, definitely. Definitely. We'll have more member spotlights of some of our members and how much weight they've lost ever since being with Punch King. So again, highly recommended for boxing, kickboxing, kick fitness, not with Punch King or any other gym out there. I think that's something, and it's fun. You're learning a skill at the same time. So remember, you're not just losing weight. You're actually going to learn to be able to punch, to kick, to defend yourself. What's better than that? Weightlifting, yeah, you learn to lift weights, and you get bigger muscles, and you might lose a little bit of weight. But when you walk out of there, what actually have you learned? There's really no real skill set that you learn. But you can be a power lifter, if that's what you want to be, or you want to be a bodybuilder, then yeah, that's what you're going to do. But knowing how to defend yourself and being able to punch and kick properly is a skill set, and you're learning that, and you're losing weight. I don't think you can get asked for anything better than that.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
And please tell us how people can contact you for those who wants to get their feet wet in boxing and kickboxing.
So right now we have 4 locations here. I don't think your show is over in the East Coast yet, but we have one in New Jersey. They're opening another one in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we have one here in San Francisco in the Sunset District. And I'm opening a second one, hopefully July 1st, this summer, in the Richmond District. And we have one huge gym in San Jose. It's called Punch King Elite Fitness with WorkCat. So we have I think it's about 20,000 square foot space. Punch King, we have another one called Elite Pro and another one called WorkCat. WorkCat is powerlifting. Punch King Elite Fitness is more functional fitness, and then there's Punch King, which is the boxing. All of them can be all the information you can go to punchkingfitness.com, and you can see information on all our locations. And if you're interested in our products, then you can go to punchkingworld.com.
Okay. Where in San Jose?
299 Bassett, which closer to around Silicon Valley area, downtown San Jose.
Okay, great to know. Thank you very much, King. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
By the way, is it Punch King because of your name?
I didn't do it purposely. It just kind of like flowed. Someone actually mentioned it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't want people to think I'm trying to name it myself or anything, but my name kind of falls into a line of a lot of different businesses, Smoothie King or all this other stuff. So hey, Punch King kind of works. So we tried it out and we kept it.
Great. Thank you very much for your time and for all the informative information.
Thank you so much. Thanks for I enjoyed being on your show.